years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex Bennett and this is the Ramble. We go from now until midnight Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, let's go, ladies and gentlemen, out to California and the lovely ditties being sung by Larry Bubbles Brown.
Yes, this show might be interrupted by a wildfire, so...
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the wildfire, I have all my stuff in storage in Sonoma.
Well, I hope it's insured.
Well, I guess it is. I don't know. But it's... the last time there was a fire, it's in a storage facility that a friend of mine owns, or runs, rather. And he had moved all my stuff from my old place into his, and which was a very nice thing of him to do. And then they had that fire last year, and the fire completely destroyed everything 360 degrees around this storage unit, but not the storage unit itself.
Wow.
Yeah. So, so cut to this week, I get a note from him because he does a show on GabNet. And he says he can't do a show for a couple of days because he's being evacuated.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring, if my stuff burns up, so what? So's my life. So, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that's, has sentimental value, but what the hell, fires come. I always see these people going, I lost everything in the fire, and I'm thinking, well, it's a good chance to start over, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the Iroquois Indians used to celebrate their New Year's by destroying everything they owned. So maybe that's what we should do.
I think we're kind of like snowballs or rolling down a hill. As we go through life, we gather all this stuff. I remember I always like to use the story that when I moved from San Francisco to Houston, Texas, I packed the car with everything I owned, and it was in the trunk of the car and maybe a little bit of the back seat. Now it takes a whole van.
Right.
It's like you keep acquiring this crap and acquiring this crap and acquiring this crap, and you never throw it out. I mean, I'm surprised that a little apartment of yours isn't just absolutely cluttered, that you won't wind up on a hoarder show.
Well, it would be, except I've always been kind of a minimalist, so I'm constantly throwing crap out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't like to own stuff.
Well, what I do is I've kept my history, and my history is on tapes. And I have most of those tapes now. I had them in storage, and he's been shipping them out to me. But still, if that thing burns up, I've lost all those tapes. So.
The tapes, I hope those be saved, because those would be pretty cool.
Well, I have he says I have most of the boxes of the tapes at this point. I need a few more, and that's it. But I sincerely doubt the place is going to burn down because, everything burned down around it, so that kind of prevents fires from,
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? But I hope my stuff is safe. And I should probably start getting him to ship out more of the stuff, to me, so that I at least have all my tapes and videotapes here. I don't care about anything else,
How many hours of radio would you have on tape?
I don't know. I've got something like 8 boxes of cassettes. So that's quite a bit, you know. I've got them all in the closet here. But I mean, it's some. I don't know. You know, I mean, think about it. How many hours a day did I do at Live 105? 4 hours a day or 3?
You're doing 4 hours a day, and then sometimes you'd go 4.5 to 5.
Yeah, well, let's say 4 hours a day. Over how many years was I there?
You were there from 86 to 97, so 11 years.
No. I was there from 80, 79, 80, I think. Yeah, because I went to KMEL first.
You're Camel first, and then Live 105 was 86.
No,
right?
but I was at the Quake.
Quake before that, yeah.
Yeah. So how many hours is that for? You know, I mean, so how many years are we talking?
It would be a let's see, if you did 4 hours a day, that would be 1,000 hours a year, 5 days a week.
Okay, so 1,000 a year. I was off for a short time. So how many years was I there? From about 1980? Is it? Did I say or
1980 to 97, and you're off for you weren't off for a full year, I don't think.
Well, I was off for a short time when I left the Quake. And then I was off for about 9 months when I left the other station. Let's take off 2 years just to shave, honestly. Okay?
So that'd be 15 years. That'd be 15,000 hours.
15,000 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would be that's a lot of time.
Now let's add to it 3 hours a day from 2004 to 2003. So that's 9 years times 3 hours a day. So 3 hours a day is 15 hours a week times what? Go do the math. You're good at this.
Times 50. So 15 times 50 would be 750 hours a year.
Mm-hmm.
Times 9 would be about 6,500 or so.
Okay, so 6,500. Now take 6,500, add it to the what did we already have?
15,000. So now you're over 21,000.
21,000 hours of radio?
Most pilots don't have that much flying time, so.
Yeah. Jeez almighty. Wait, 21,000 hours?
That's unbelievable.
Is that real? Are we right in our math? Well, you're perfect in your math that way.
Well, I'm just thinking because if you work an 8-hour job, an 8-hour day, that's 2,000 hours a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing 4 hours, that's 1,000 a year.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I should advertise myself as over 20,000 hours on radio.
Yeah.
And then I did this podcast. And I've been doing, for the most part, 2 hours a day. But how many hours a week? 2 hours a day. 4 days a week. 4 days a week. So that's
40 hours a week.
No, that's not 40 hours.
2 hours a day, 4 days a week. That's 16.
16. Okay. And so that's how much a year?
800.
800?
Mm-hmm.
800 hours a year times, let me see here, times about 6.
4,800.
4,800. So we add that to the 2,100.
Now we're over 25,000.
25,000 hours doing something. Jeez almighty. I think it's time to quit, don't you?
I feel, yes. I felt I should have quit years ago.
Well, I'm having the urologist thing on next Monday, so probably I'll find out I have prostate cancer, and then I'll die. So, you can.
Even if you got it, you'll have 20 years.
Oh, really? You think so?
Oh, yeah. You're too the aggressive stuff hits people younger.
Well, I hope that's true. I hope that's true. But anyway, So you know what? Maybe you can help. Now I'm talking to the wrong guy for this. I've been going through an emotional crisis lately.
Well, I have no emotions.
Well, lacking any emotions, maybe well, anyway, here's the emotional crisis. Everybody around me is dying, or has had a close to death experience. We know one.
Yes, and same here, and that's very depressing.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but how do you perceive of death? Are you afraid of it?
Horrified, and
Me
then
too.
When your friends die, it brings it closer to home.
Yeah, well, it gets you even closer to home when you're approaching 80, and you're well past your sell-by date.
I can't believe you're that old.
Yeah, I can't believe it either, but I'm past my sell-by date. So now, what's that going to do? And I'm thinking, every morning I wake up and there's the Grim Reaper with his scythe behind me, just waiting.
Lurking.
How's that for being a depressed human being?
Well, you get older, you can't help but think about it, right?
Yeah, well, I know, but you can't help but think about it. But still.
Although I think Americans are in such denial of death, they actually push it out of their mind. I don't know.
I don't push it out of my mind. I've always had it in my mind all my life.
Me too.
But now that I've gotten this old and the inevitability is there, I've always had this fear about, hey, we all have to die. But, I can't conceive of nothing existing. I know, folks, I know what you're saying. Well, there's a God and there's a heaven and there's St. Peter at the pearly gates and he'll be waiting for you and say, come on in. But either that or Satan and he's going to go, come on in. We're having quite a party down here. I think you're going to enjoy it. You get blown every day.
By a blowtorch.
But I've often said that I'm very jealous of those people who believe in God because they have this balm, as it was, this soothing notion that's going to keep them from worrying about whether they're going to die or not.
Yes, but that's exactly why they believe in God.
Yeah, but, oh, good, I'm dying. I'm going to go see Aunt Mary again.
So you're right, though. If you can convince yourself that's what's going to happen, you're going to have this great calmness about not worry about it and think it's going to be great. So,
yeah.
In that sense, it works.
In that sense, it works. So I feel jealous of those people because, well, in a way, they're so stupid. They actually believe they're not going to be mulch.
It's so true.
Now, I do have certain theories that there may be a life after death, but not in the way that we think of it. If you believe in string theory and you believe in different dimensions, I exist right now. You exist in another dimension. And another, I can't remember what they call it now. I'm too tired. It's too early in the day for me to. I know, folks, this is being played at night, but we recorded this early on. But I just, I don't know. I just can't. I'm trying to remember what they call those other dimensions, but there are about 12 of them supposedly. I mean, this is scientific, okay, and that you exist in all of them. But not in exactly the way you do now. You may not be a comedian in another dimension, okay? So maybe we pass over into those other dimensions. I don't know, I mean, it's all a mystery to me. The biggest mystery is that we have this finite amount of time here on the planet. 80 years, I'm pushing, as I say, my sell-by date. Average age of a man is something like about 77, and then you're gone. That's it, And what are you in the great string of time? You were just this insignificant speck.
I know.
So why were you here in the first place if all you are was an insignificant speck?
It's totally pointless.
Have we depressed you, everybody?
Like Marlon Brando said on your deathbed, you look back over your life and go, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah, what the heck? He did say that on his deathbed. Marlon Brando looked up and said, what the heck was that all about? And then he died. And that's kind of what I'm asking myself. I mean, what the heck was that all about? I spent my life doing radio, trying to become a name in radio, trying to ply my art, blah, 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 blah. And then I dropped dead. Nobody remembers me. And what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, it's pointless.
It's absolutely pointless. And then I think about it. As I said, I was looking at a documentary on the planets that they did, that BBC did. And I think Netflix now claims is a Netflix original or something like that. And it's really great. But what they do is they say, and 4 billion years ago, Mars was created or whatever. And I'm going, 4 fucking billion years ago? Now, if you take my 80 years and fold it into 1 billion, you get virtually nothing. And if you do that with Donald Trump's life, you again get virtually nothing. So why is he spending all his time trying to make the rest of our lives, these short lives we have on this planet, miserable?
Well, people always try to make other people's lives miserable. Dana Carvey said to John Lovitz was complaining about something, and Dana said, John, do you know from today there's going to be another billion years? And Lovitz said, well, then this all means nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what is it all about, Larry? What do you think? What do you think it's all about? Why are we put here? I
wish I had that philosophical mind, but I think we're dogs trying to solve algebra problems.
Well, I think what it is, we spend a lot of our time on this planet, whether it's a Buddhist monk or a rocket scientist, trying to figure out what this is all about, as Marlon Brando said.
And we don't have a clue.
I mean, if you think about and everybody, just for a moment, think about the enormity of the universe, okay? I mean, it's an amazingly large place. In fact, it's infinite. And think about your place in that infinite space. You want to talk about a speck? You're a speck of time. Add that to the speck in space that you are. And even somebody as important as Donald Trump means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Means nothing in that infinite space and that infinite time. And I just think about it, and we're this little speck of a planet here in all of this vast universe. And then you think about that, and you go, "What's that all about?" And then you start saying, am I really here, or is this just some kind of dream?
Yeah, or you start to think about the beginning of time and your head pops off.
Yeah. Oh, well, when I was a kid, I'd lie there in bed and they would tell me, the universe is infinite. And I'm going, how can anything be infinite? I mean, there's got to be an end to everything. And they say that it's, that the universe is a sidereal line. Here's how they explain it. If you take a telescope that has ultimate magnification and you point it absolutely straight ahead, you will see the back of your head.
Wow.
because space curves. It comes right back to where it began. Okay?
Well, yeah.
Still doesn't explain it to me. Yeah, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I'm just, I'm in awe of the universe, and I'm in awe, and at the same time, it depresses me. It depresses me because soon
we feel the same way.
Soon I will be dead. I'm getting to the point now where I don't start a new television series that looks like it's going to be a hit because I'm afraid I'm never going to be able to see how it ends. All right? You know, Watchmen just started on HBO, and I started watching it. And I'm going, but, you know, if this thing goes for 6 seasons or something like that, and I'm dead after 4 seasons, I'm never going to see how this ends. So why am I watching it? That's how depressed I'm getting about this. I'm letting it rule my life. Hey, why should I start seeing the new Marvel series? Because I may not see how it resolves itself. You know. So.
Yeah. Well, that's depressing.
You know, and how many Star Wars pictures am I going to miss? Then again, my mother lived to be 100. I could live to be that old, but I don't want to be that way. You know, already my parts are starting to fall apart on me. You know, I got the neuropathy in the feet. I may have the prostate cancer. Then again, I may not. You know, these PSA tests are ridiculous. But I may not. But nevertheless, I've got all these things that are bothering me. And as I get older, they're not going to get any less bothering me.
No, and there can be a new one every day.
So I can live to be 100, but I'll be sitting there with some other old people in a room, because I remember that's where my mother was, at the old Jewish old folks home in San Francisco, and just drooling and having a nurse come over every now and then and wipe off my spittle. You know? What kind of a life? Isn't that?
Was she fairly happy there?
I don't think she conceived of happy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she didn't have, she wasn't, what's the thing? She didn't have Alzheimer's. She had dementia, which is Alzheimer without a physical component, okay? And listen, all those dogs barking outside, I hear. Hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Are those dogs? Yeah, they got to be dogs. Anyway, my mother was, you know, I mean, I don't think she was fully aware of where she was. You know? And
could be scary.
Yeah. She knew she was comfortable and that people were watching over her. I think she knew that. And she had her own little room and everything like that, you know. But I would go see her, and it was kind of like I was talking to my mother, but I was talking to a shell that once was my mother.
Yeah.
You know? And really, she was just in this place waiting to die. And they were taking good care of her. I mean, it was a Jewish home for the aged. And one time my mother said, "Where am I?" I said, "You're in the Jewish home for the aged." And she said, "Why?" And I said, 2 reasons. You're Jewish. And you're aged, you know, and that's why she was there. And it was, you know, it was. And then I would go into this room of old people, and they were all women. It wasn't like it was an all-girls school or something like that. They were just, the women survived their husbands, okay? And so
they always do.
Majority of the people in this room were women, and they were all over the age of 80. You know, I think there was one guy there who was like 75, but he had Alzheimer's really bad. Okay, so that, you know, that qualified him. But I went into this room, and there was like maybe one guy, and he was over in the corner playing a piano. Mm-hmm. You know, it was all he knew from his memory that he could play the piano. And there was this one woman, I would walk by her. Every time I walked by her, she'd go, You a cop? So I imagine myself in that room. I've seen old age, that old, and I don't know if I want that either. You know, that's the other fear I have, is that I am going to live to be that old, and I am going to be incontinent and losing my memory and saying to Larry Bubbles Brown, we've run out of time.
So it's a no-win.
Yeah. And that's what I'm going to be saying at the end of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, we've run out of time.
Run out of time.
Yeah. Anyway. Hey, thank you, Larry.
Yeah, this is a very uplifting episode.
Yes. I'll see you next week so we can get together and depress the rest of my audience. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Bubbles Brown. Bye, Bubs.
Still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
We all love him, don't we? Huh? It's Larry Bubbles Brown, ladies and gentlemen. They don't get much better than old Larry. We love him. Everybody loves him. Hello, how are you? I'm here with my commie hat tonight, and we're going to turn on the phones and see if anybody wants to talk to us tonight. One of these days, nobody will want to talk to us. Let's see here. Oh, there. Okay. Now it signed on, and the green light should be lighting on your Skype that says that Alex is available. Yeah, I'm available. Anyway, let me see here. If you don't know how to call this program, you can do it, using Skype. And if you don't know anything about all of that, just go to our GabNet page, GABNET.net. Over on the right-hand side of the page is everything you want to know about how to call this program. And we would love to have you participate. Please, whatever you do, participate. Let me see here. Todd Moore. Wow, I was just looking at Todd Moore. Hello, Todd. How are you?
How you doing?
Where are you, Todd? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me give you a little slot here in the on the thing here. Todd. There we go. Okay, Todd. Why don't you turn yourself sideways so then you're in panoramic mode. Okay.
Like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Okay, now we'll go over. There he is, and you're in your car. I take it.
My 18-wheeler.
You're in a truck. Of course, you're a trucker. I forget.
Yeah.
Well, this will give you something to do on that long black ribbon of highway.
I'm off tonight, so I try to make it so I can get on, because every other time I try. Mm-hmm. I'm usually driving, and I can't get on, and I miss it every time.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, but now you're not working tonight, but you're in your truck.
Yes, I live in my truck.
You live in your truck. Most truckers do, don't they?
No.
No? Every trucker, I used to talk to a lot of truckers when I was doing my show. Let me give myself a little more volume here. When I used to do my show over at Sirius, I got a lot of truckers calling the program. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them talked about there was a man and wife, a trucking team who lived in their car. In their truck. So I'm trying to talk and do something at the same time. Hold on a second. Let me get Phil in here. Okay, there's Phil. Okay, what were you gonna say, Todd? So you say you
be Phil.
Yeah, but it's cheaper to live in your truck, isn't it, than stay at a motel or whatever,
Yeah, it is, but I really don't do hotels too much, because a lot of hotels that you go to, they might have bed bugs or roaches and stuff. I don't want none of that stuff in my truck.
Yeah, right. So you stay in the truck.
It's safer.
Is it comfortable?
Oh, yeah. I got like it's like an apartment in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have a toilet?
I got a refrigerator, my microwave. I used to be a chef. Uh-huh. I got ovens. I got a bathroom. I got everything, man. I love it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if I ever go really broke, I'll come move in with you.
That's fine. I got another a bed up here, but the only problem is I got to fix the lights in here, as you can tell, because my lighting is real bad.
Really? Oh, boy. Can you're using your phone? Why don't you
Yeah.
why don't you show us a little bit about? Can you show us a little more of of the situation there?
Right.
Hmm?
That's gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
That
yeah, yeah. There's a pillow and everything. Boy,
stuff right in front of me.
this is
I
really
got my TV
nice.
over here too,
It's
and the front is covered right now, and it's raining real bad right
yeah.
now. I
You
don't know
must
if
be
you
in
can see.
Texas.
No, I'm over here in where the hell am I?
Wait a minute.
I drive so much I keep forgetting. I'm in Missouri, or I call it misery.
Okay, hold on a second. I got to get some people on here. I'm having trouble with. Oh, there's Charlie Wallace finally.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Of the
then
blood.
in a number 4 position, let me see here. We got. Yeah, there he is, Mr. Let's see here, Mike.
How you doing, Alex?
Michael Klein. Let me see here. Let me go to the next template. There we go, so we can see him. Okay, we're off to a raging start here, I guess, huh? By the way, to everybody who's watching, we are not only on YouTube, but we're on the Facebook page as well, which is facebook.com/A Bennett. Okay, so you can watch us on either one. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do the Facebook thing, though, because it doesn't seem to get a lot of people. In the beginning, I got a lot of people on Facebook, and then they all got used to going over to YouTube, so, but we're broadcasting on both, which...
Oh, you're not on the air, huh?
What? No, we're also doing the audio as well.
Your on-air sign's not on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you pointed that out to me, Charlie, because if I
Somebody
didn't...
in the chat room did.
If I didn't do it, girlfriend would let me have it. Okay.
Now the transmitter is on.
Now the transmitter is on, exactly. How you doing, Michael? What's new?
I'm doing good. I've been doing a stint at KMBC, producing promos, and that's been a lot of fun during the fires.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah.
And I guess we have a mutual friend, I found out, Randy Thomas.
Yes, of course. Good old Randy. I knew her years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine, and you came up in conversation, and it's like, oh God, he helped her get her start.
Well, I didn't help her get her start. No, did she say that?
Well, you were instrumental in something. I'm trying to remember the
I
story.
was only instrumental in being a good friend to her when she was in New York. She came into New York to work at WPLJ, and we became rather close, and got to know each other.
She's a good lady.
She's a very good lady, and the voice of the Academy Awards. When you watch the Academy Awards show, she's the announcer on it.
And the Tonys, and she's done Super Bowl.
Yeah.
She's having an upcoming TED Talk that's going to be published that I helped her with. So.
Oh, really?
Look forward to that. Yeah, she's telling her life story and how she was the first woman to announce the Academy Awards.
Wow. Wow. Well, she does them all. There's no room for anybody else to get that job. She pretty well. I don't know. She doesn't do it every year, about every other year or something like that. They have her do it. But every now and then I listen to it and I go, that's Randy. That's Randy. Well, give her my best when you see her. Okay?
I will. She had great things to say about you, which surprised me, actually.
Oh, no, I thought the world of her. I won't go any further than that, but, I thought the world of it.
Do you know a voiceover artist named John Plessy?
Plessy?
Pleisse?
No.
He's the voice of NBC, so it was kind of cool writing copy for him.
Yes. Well, some people have work still. That's good. Look at Randy. I'm not saying this pejoratively. Randy's no spring chicken.
No.
And she's still working.
Yeah, she's working her butt off to keep getting work. She's here in LA now. She moved from Miami.
Yeah. Oh, she was in Miami?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. How do you get work in Miami?
Hey, when you're voiceover, you can get work from anywhere in the world, man. Just do it all at your house.
I guess.
I met her through Entertainment Tonight. So
yeah, she was the announcer on Entertainment Tonight.
Yes,
for a while. Not anymore.
The most watched entertainment news show in the world.
Does she still do it?
No, on and off. But
I never watch that show anymore, so I don't know. So we got a guy in his truck.
Yeah,
Todd.
I heard the beginning of that, Todd.
Yeah.
Hey.
And we have a guy in Contra Costa with his back to us. You're very quiet tonight, Phil. You usually are very verbose when you come on.
Well, I figured that you would summon me when you wanted to hear from me.
Yeah, so what do you think about
what is this, a new thing
Phil?
with you? What? I have to summon you?
Well, you were in conversation. You want me to interrupt? I mean, I can go that way, but
when he's interrupting,
hey,
stop.
I'm interrupting.
Well, sometimes when you don't interrupt, we want somebody to check your pulse.
Well, it's we're going through blackouts now. Michael, have you been affected by the fires at all?
Not me, but they're definitely all around. I can smell the smoke, but not directly affected. I have friends. I'm more concerned about my friends in Marin County.
Yeah, well, that's burning. They don't have electricity.
Yeah,
and they haven't had it for days. But how far are you from the Getty Center?
At a half hour.
Oh, okay. It'll take a while to burn to your house.
Soda Rock Winery in Healdsburg?
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I've never been
there. I love their wine.
Really? I haven't gone to that one.
Wow. Well, if anybody cares, the reason why Damien wasn't on tonight and we ran a repeat was because he was evacuated.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That doesn't
from
bode well for your locker.
Well, no, I have my stuff in storage at the same place where he lives.
And it was evacuated. Did you get a locker insurance like I suggested?
No.
I didn't know you had a locker, Alex.
Yeah. So I have a locker up there, and it's I have homeowners insurance, so I think it's covered.
It might be covered.
Yeah, it's covered by that. I'm sure.
Alex has a locker, but he really doesn't call it a locker. It's his library, presidential library.
Yeah,
with all his artifacts.
Yeah, well, all the artifacts are in there, which could go, but so what? If life is just, it's not. I have a lot of the tapes here now, so I don't have the videotapes though, and I don't have. I need the videotapes and a few other things. I'm going to have them start sending some more stuff.
It's one less boat anchor, and as you were saying, if you die, you're here today, gone tomorrow, then somebody has to deal with.
But I have
shit.
the masters for my TV specials in there. The the big 1-inch tapes. And things like that. So I mean, I still have to, I would not want to lose.
Did you own that show, Alex?
I owned half of it.
Half of it with PBS, or wasn't it PBS?
No, UPS. UPS. Channel 44 in San Francisco. UPS. KBHK. Channel 44 on most systems.
Yeah. I prefer.
Would you be allowed to publish it on YouTube?
I have it on you. It's on. It's actually on my. What do you call it? It's on. It's on Gabnet TV on Roku. I have at least one of the specials. I don't have the other one around. So, and actually there are two specials there. There's the Wired Again special that I did, which is the worst TV show in the history of mankind. And then there's the Alex Bennett Comedy Hour. And
what about Comedy Tonight? Or you were just the host on that?
Comedy Tonight, I was just the host. I didn't own any of that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have any rights to put that up.
Can't believe I remember this shit.
Yeah. I actually was on 5 seasons on PBS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, But if the place didn't burn before, I suspect it won't burn again because everything around it burned last time. So where's the fire going to go now? Because there's a natural fire break there because the fire destroyed everything.
It's true. It's just that it's the only thing left to burn. So as long as it's, needs something to burn, an ember will jump over and it'll float in the air. And then all of a sudden it settles down.
Yeah.
And your shit's on fire.
The way I look at it, that's about $150 less, $180 less I have to pay every month.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it.
Thing.
And then I can collect the insurance on it, and I can have somebody go out and make tapes of me, pretending to be me, who's probably better than I am. So,
And don't forget, I got a bunch of photos of you, Alex, from the Live 105 days.
Oh, really?
Any with clothes on?
Yeah, I was the official photographer for like 2 years.
Wow. Did Putin see these?
Really? Send me some.
You don't remember that?
Send me some.
Yeah, I got a ton. I got from.
Hey, listen, if I don't remember
Breakfast with Bennett, I got photos.
Yeah.
And,
oh, wow. Well, if I don't remember Phil, how am I going to remember you?
Right. In fact, I'm doing a thing with Tom Kenny a couple of weeks. He's going to be doing a wine thing that I'm helping produce. And I have photos. I don't know if you have a memory of this, Alex. Remember when after Breakfast with Bennett, Tom Kenny invited everyone to his apartment? And this crowd of people walked with him, 4 or 5 blocks to his apartment. Yeah. They all went to his apartment. I have photos of the studio audience in his apartment.
Oh, wow. Well, give him my best. I have not talked to Tom in years. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I remember I got a great story about that. I interviewed him a few years ago when I was at Sirius XM because I hadn't talked to him in years, and I figured I should. And I met up with a kid one day, and we're a little kid, somebody's kid or something. And the kid had a T-shirt on with SpongeBob SquarePants. And I looked at the kid and I said, "Guess what, kid?" And he said, "What?" I said, "SpongeBob is a friend of mine." And he looked at me and said, "Sure he is."
On the doll where he touched you.
Huh? Yeah.
Show me on the doll where he touched you.
So,
I was saying, you should have got him on the phone at that moment.
Yeah. But I was always very happy for Tom. Just swell guy and deserves, excuse me, every inch of success that he's had.
And he's a happy guy, and his kids are doing really well, and I bumped into him sometimes when I'm at CBS.
Yeah. So
I think he lives in Studio City.
So you're living down in LA now.
Yeah.
So you got fires. Phil's got fires. How close are the fires to you, Phil?
Well, we got the Kincaid one, which is like Sonoma. Mm-hmm. There was one in Lafayette, so that was just across the freeway. That was Sunday.
Yeah.
And it burned a tennis club and a couple of acres. There's there's a number of them up and around here.
Kincaid is 75,000 acres right now.
Yeah, and it's minimally contained.
Yeah.
And
well, California has had this continual problem over the years with fires. I mean, every year they go, "Oh, it's terrible. It's horrible what's happening," and it is horrible, But it also is. It just seems to be something that happens on a regular basis every year.
I know why.
Why?
California is a godless society, and next will be locusts and plague.
Climate change.
I see. There's Tony.
Then locusts, then plague.
I was afraid to bring up the climate change because Phil's here.
Well, I don't know if
I don't see the seasons changing. I even am aware
Phil,
of
that isn't
falling in winter.
Phil, that isn't the effect of climate change because you don't see the weather changing. And as a matter of fact, what?
Yeah, go ahead, finish. Yeah.
No, I mean it is not what the weather is. It's climatological changes and the effects it has on the planet.
Yes, but I can stop climate change in one easy step. If all the 1%ers paid for carbon credits, it would stop climate change. And, you know, it would fund the one world socialists and their agenda. And I think climate change is only cyclical. And
Phil, I got to tell you
shit.
something about my wife, Phil, and I have to tell you this. She finally came to me the other day, and I have to say it. Phil's a fucking asshole, and she does not like you. She does not like you.
But Phil, how can you
that's
see
too
it's
bad.
cyclical when this is unprecedented?
Huh?
What's going
Well,
on?
everything's unprecedented. They look at the rings and trees and the rains and so forth for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're able to determine that it was, you know, just as warm 200 years ago as it is today, and they didn't have automobiles and things like that.
That is
what Fox tells
And
you?
you know, I think
Phil.
I think
It's not
Marjorie
how
is,
hot or
is
cold.
not-
It's not how hot or cold that is climate change.
well, you sell it any way you want.
No, I'm not selling it any way I
I'd say
want.
It's a bunch of hocus pocus.
Charlie, tell them what it's about, okay?
It's not how hot it got on one particular day. It's how hot it's gotten on so many days.
You ever hear the sky is falling? You know, that little.
But this
thing?
isn't the sky is falling. This isn't
the sky is falling.
Phil,
And you know why? And 20 years ago it was the ozone. Well, you don't hear a word about the ozone anymore.
That's because we stopped the
25 years ago it was global
because we
cooling.
helped we did save the ozone, didn't we, Charlie? I mean
Yeah.
by
But we had
hole
to
in the
make changes.
ozone.
because there's not an ozone problem now because we stopped putting the fluorocarbons in the air.
So you mean in 20 years we fixed the ozone
yes,
crisis?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
such bullshit.
Yes, we
We
did.
did, Phil.
You know, that's such bullshit.
Go
They're
see if you can
saying
buy
that
an aerosol can in a store.
Hmm?
You can't buy aerosol cans.
well, you can in the black market.
Rake.
You know, I like aerosol cans. I spray them all over. I'm trying to make that hole in the ozone.
Randy
What
Thomas.
bullshit. You guys
What-
fell for a bill of goods.
What did
Absolutely.
what did you say, Mike?
Randy Thomas is texting me. She wants to call. Maybe I could get her on with us, huh?
If she wants
Tell
to,
her,
she can just Skype us.
Yep, that live.
I'm in a conference call with Alex Bennett. Do you want to go on with us?
Tell her we're doing my show.
Oh,
You still can't stay
I
out
think
in the
the
sun
conference
as
call
much
has
as
more
you
pull.
could back in the 50s.
For Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy. The man is nuts, Alex.
What? Who? Phil?
Phil's gone
He's
crazy.
crazy. He's out of his mind.
Ozone.
Science project. You're going to bring him in for a
Out of
kid.
his mind.
You were around. You know what it was like back in the 60s.
My sister's class.
Ozone.
Kids are gifted. They would like,
Yeah.
they'd be amazed.
The dope. You could smoke the dope and not get all fucked up.
What? I never did drugs. I'm going to start doing drugs, I think.
If you did drugs, you'd explode.
I don't know. No.
Tony on drugs. My God.
Randy sends her love.
Okay.
But she says she's not prepared.
Okay. That means that she isn't ready to sit in front of a camera. That's usually what it means. Give her my best, will you, when you see her? Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah. So and Todd is in his truck.
I heard the truck. Nice.
Yay! that kind of darkened person. If he were,
I know. I'm sorry about the lighting.
yeah. Well, you know that, and your complexion. It kind of, it's darker than it would usually be.
Watch yourself, Alex.
Huh?
Yeah.
Watch
Watch
yourself.
That's
yourself, man.
that Jew bigot shit coming out in you.
There's no bigot
You
shit.
are
I'm just
right.
saying that when.
Listen
Yeah,
to
I'll tell you.
Sammy Davis was
Years
Jewish,
ago,
right?
I got to tell you, when I was doing Midnight Blue, we had an invite to go out to Long Island and record this reggae group. I can't remember what their names were now. So we go out to this club, and in those days, cameras weren't as good as they are today. And the stage was completely black. It had a completely black background. And now these 4 black guys get on stage.
With black shirts.
And I'm trying to shoot them, and I'm going, pour some light on them. And we pour light on them. They must have been sweating a ton.
You should have tried lynching. Shooting didn't work.
No, because all I had were these eyes and teeth running around, because in those days it just all blended in together, and we had to poured incredible amount of light on the stage, but it didn't work because black absorbs light rather than reflects it. So I mean, it was a great group. It was a terrific group, but we couldn't use the footage because you couldn't see them. So that's my story, Todd. Was that racist?
How come you didn't like
Wait, hold on a second. I asked Todd.
Lynching shit was.
I'm
ready to go over there and drive the truck to
the
that
lynching
fire and go
was
deal with
in
them.
lieu of shooting. He said he shot him. Can't you light a black background and pour some light on it, which will you can sign it. You can turn a black background.
I'm talking about bad cameras in those days. These were just things that were not possible, Phil. It was just the technology was not there. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Bree has joined us, but we're waiting for him to turn on the camera here so we can see him. There we go. Now I can find him here. Let's hope he's not against a black background. Let's see here. I'm looking for Bree. There we go. Okay. That's how I bring him on. I can't talk and do it at the same time. Hello. He's in Indonesia, right?
Kuala
Lumpur.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
what time is it in Kuala Lumpur?
This is what I love about Skype. We got a guy in a truck, and we got a guy in Kuala Lumpur. How about that? Okay, is that
technology, people?
Is that not terrific, or what? It's more or what? Okay. Anyway, Phil, you really are an asshole.
Hey, no problem. I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to get something to drink because I'm an asshole.
Okay, the asshole's going to get a drink. Boy.
It's the asshole drink shot.
Here comes Jeff Stein. Boy, we're getting tons of people here. Let me see here. And Jeff is. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Jeff looks like he's in. Jeff, turn the audio down. You're listening to the audio from the show.
Turn down your radio.
Okay, try and do something about that. Okay, all right. Is he doing something about it? I don't know. No, we still hear it.
Well, it takes 30 seconds.
No, he. There we go. Well, we can still hear it. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Just close your browser. Don't close Skype. Just close your browser. Get rid of it, your browser. There you go. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So where are you? Are you at home?
Yeah.
It's a really good picture tonight. Well, also there's no light in back of you and stuff, and it really looks good. So, And we lost Tony already to that hideous wallpaper. This weekend, Marjorie and I, and by the way, Bree, we can't see your face. We can see your vent up above.
Well, who cares? Nobody wants to see me, Alex. They're not tuning in.
Well, we don't want to see that fucking vent. It's worse than Tony's wallpaper.
It is not worse.
So we're watching. My wife and I. We've gone through this thing of we're watching all the. What did? Who did that?
Somebody hit a button.
That wasn't me.
I didn't touch
Somebody
anything.
shared the screen.
Jeff.
Oh, someone's sending their screen.
Wait a minute.
Upper right-hand corner, you can see Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff's name.
Jeff, you've
Come
got
on.
see. There.
What in the world?
No, that's not
the
it either.
Andromeda Galaxy.
You see that double squares? There we go.
There you go.
No, he.
How could he take over like that?
Any of you could.
Yeah, there's a way of doing it.
Yeah, there's a way of all you have to do is see the double square down at the bottom of your screen, right next to the heart. Okay. Here comes Jeff back again. What he did is he hung up. Okay. All right. Now we got Jeff.
So you don't go into Gabnet jail. In the bottom right-hand corner of your Skype screen, you'll see a double square.
Do you see that?
Do not go near that double square.
This
Never
double
touch
square?
it. Yeah.
See, if you go down, if you move your cursor down towards the bottom of the screen, click.
On the right-hand
you'll
side.
see a heart on the right-hand side, right?
Yeah.
And then right next to it, see those two squares?
Yeah.
You don't want to touch those.
Okay.
That's what does it. And
Touching those will put you into Gabnet jail.
Yeah, I don't know how you managed to do it but that seems to be the thing you always hit by accident. I don't know why.
I don't know how because I don't try to touch it there.
Yeah, well, don't even go anywhere near there.
Okay.
Well, then show me on the doll where you were touched.
Yeah, where you were touched. So anyway, somebody brought up something vaguely political, which started.
I was trying to talk about the vote that's going to the House tomorrow.
It's not a real vote.
Is that the impeach?
It's not a real vote.
It's a vote. It's a vote to continue to do what they're doing.
No, it's not. It's a vote
not.
to actually start the investigation.
Yeah,
First it was an
investigation,
inquiry, now
not
it's
the
an investigation.
impeachment.
to formally start the investigation. Well, they have to go through a process, Phil. It's not like they're over. They have to go through a process, step by step, methodically, to get this done.
You know what's happening here? They don't want to end up with more egg on their face like they did during the Mueller testimony. And
There's
all
no
of the
egg on.
other
There's no
things.
egg on their face. Nancy Pelosi knows she has the votes.
She doesn't have the
Yes,
votes.
she
If
does.
she had the vote.
She
she'd,
hasn't.
have the vote.
They have to go through this process first. Don't you understand how an impeachment
That is
works?
not. Yes, I do. And that's
No,
not
you
the
don't.
process
No,
that
you
was
have.
done
No, you
for
haven't.
Clinton.
You haven't.
Or Nixon.
You haven't had you listen to Fox for that crap.
You're starting to learn. Is that what you're learning?
No, I just hear you parroting them, and that means nothing, Phil.
No, it happens to be the truth.
It happens
That's
to be.
where I get my
It's
news.
the
It's
truth.
not a matter of
It's
parroting.
the
These
truth.
people are
I
in the
see.
house.
It-
They're there talking to those. That,
Okay, I'm glad it's the truth, Phil.
yeah.
Oh boy, what am I going to do about you? Probably kill you. Anyway,
Well, it's easy. You know, I'm not. Oh, you're going to have several days without me next week.
really?
Let me write those
You
down.
might
What
not
I
have
think-
me a couple of days next week if I get bad news from my doctor.
Yeah. The 5th, 6th, and 7th of November, I will be in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll find a way to call.
Hmm?
You'll find a way to call.
Nah, I'm going to see my mother one night, and then there's activities. So you don't want an asshole on the thing all the time. So
Yeah, well, I may not be on next week if I get bad news from my doctor. So
what's he looking at?
my prostate.
I was going to say, what's he looking up?
It's my urologist.
Look, don't worry about it. There's nothing you can do when you get bad news. There's nothing you can do when you get good news. It's just the news. And, just don't let it affect you. You don't have to let it affect you.
Right, and the faster you get back to just doing your normal thing, it'll take your mind off of it.
You asked me how it didn't, I wasn't all pushed out of shape over the prostatectomy and the prostate cancer and the heart stents and so forth. It is what it is. I got dealt those cards. I'm not going to run out of the room. Those are the cards I got. There's nothing else I can do.
Well, I mean, I still have no indication other than the PSA test going up that I have anything, So.
Yeah. Now, I noticed during the second season of Kaminsky method
Yeah.
that there was even more diseases that you had or want to have.
That I want to have. I don't want to have any diseases. I want to live forever.
I would like to, at least to. I tell you, I want to go quick.
Anyway, it just seems as though it was interesting the way they developed the characters, and I'm looking forward to the third season.
Yeah, it was
I
far
hope there's
too
a third
short.
season.
It was far too short. Each episode was 25 minutes because that's what Chuck Lorre is used to.
Yeah,
And they were 8 episodes, and we sat there and watched them all in a couple of hours.
yeah, like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, there's the doggy again.
There's Penny.
Huh?
Penny.
Penny. Hello, Penny. Can you hear me, Penny? Hello, Penny's trying to figure out where her name is coming from. Penny, here, Penny, 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 Penny,
Penny.
Penny.
Bite 'em.
Woof, woof. Boy, she doesn't get affected by anything, does she?
And that's the way you should be when you hear about your prostate.
Yeah, well. No, anyway, I know. Everything starts and stops on next Monday in my mind, But I'm sure he'll probably go, come see me in another 3 months, so I don't know.
Look at Jeff. He had gone through a ton of adversity health-wise in his life, and he just continues to do. It doesn't affect him. He just does what he has to do. And you should take a lesson from that.
Well, Jeff's my hero in that respect.
Well, it affects him, but he's dealing with it well.
Yeah, you get dealt cards. Nobody said life was
What's
fair.
been your philosophy, Jeff? Your guiding philosophy in all of this?
You don't have a choice.
That's right.
Try to do the best you can.
Patrick's my hero.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Patrick's my hero, too, in that respect. Yeah.
He's always sitting down on the job.
It's not that easy when he gets in the car and gets out of it.
Yeah, that's good.
You gotta admire him to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's also because he doesn't want a minivan. If he had a minivan, he could just roll in, push a button, boom, And he worries about parking in places where he wouldn't be able to get into the minivan. Don't park in those spots,
Yeah.
He says it's very difficult to park where it's a minimum, people who are sick,
Yeah.
that there's not enough rooms anymore.
Oh, at the hospital?
Yeah.
People wear those parking placards for handicap parking like a badge of honor. Get out of my way. I got a placard. It's true.
It's too much.
But, I see all of these people, especially in California, they abuse the handicap placard thing. You got every fat woman in the world has got a handicap placard. And, if they shouldn't give them the handicap placard, it just enables them to gain more weight.
They should walk.
Yeah, my dad qualified for that, but he would never use it. He thought people who used that a lot of times were lazy or abusing it.
I fell off a ladder.
Qualified for it.
Yeah.
My mom's the same way.
I fell off a ladder in 2000, and I broke my leg and my ankle. I was on top of a 6-foot ladder on a thing that said "not a step."
Did it hurt?
It hurt. Yeah, I got taken to the hospital in an ambulance.
Was it really painful?
Yeah, it was.
Good.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
aren't you glad?
Good.
But just wait until it's your turn. But anyway.
Well, at my age, it's just going to be a hip,
Yeah. Well. So anyway, I get a temporary placard because I'm on crutches for 3 months. And it's hard to walk on those crutches, especially the ones that give you Kaiser. They hurt, and they
Just done for Kaiser?
Huh? Excuse me?
You get 2 crutches?
Yeah, you get 2, but they're I don't think they put a pad on it. If you got to have a different plan if you want the pad under the arm. So and so if you got to walk 2-3 blocks on crutches, it's really hard. And, I see these people fat old ladies parking in the handicap spaces, and they're going shopping, and they got their bags with them, and they're having a grand old time.
Okay.
And I'm on crutches.
You're monopolizing the conversation. How you doing, Todd?
Me, I'm good.
Yeah. Let me ask you, you brought it up earlier. And I want to ask you, as a black person, which we have two.
Uh-oh.
We have two on the panel tonight.
I know, right?
You know, I mean, it's going to be anyway. How did you feel about our president using the term lynching? All right, so you took a picture of what's his name?
I am now a black person.
Yeah, right. Big deal. Anyway, but why do you have to monopolize the conversation by doing that, Phil? Because I was talking to Todd here.
All right. Well, come on. You tell me I'm not talking enough.
No. But then you put a picture up while I'm talking to somebody else, and that's kind of monopolizing the video.
Yeah, I was just going one more black person on the air.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
I got a long drive to you, Phil.
You're welcome.
No, I'm driving to you, Phil.
Yeah.
If you came, I'd take you to lunch.
I don't know.
What, fried chicken place?
Yeah, fried chicken place. Right.
No.
Anyway.
But go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry.
How did you feel about Trump's comment about lynching?
Well, being born and raised in the Bronx, New York, blah blah blah. I wasn't surprised. I've dealt with knowing how Trump is from the 70s all the way to now. So it's just the way Trump is. He uses the words kind of like Phil does to try to change what's going on, to like masquerade it. You know what I mean? Like he'll like get in trouble with something, and then he'll try to like boom, shabaga here. I grabbed the pussy or some shit. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So I don't get offended. I mean, that's
You're
Trump.
from the Bronx.
Born and raised, sir.
Cool.
Come out and play, Warriors.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
But I mean, does any of this bother you? In that, do you feel that he is encouraging racism in this country?
Well, he's been doing that. Well, I mean, before he was president, he was doing that. He was doing that when he was complaining about Obama with the birth certificate. He was complaining about everybody else. He was complaining about Central Park. He that's who he is. When he had the hotels and he had the W and the C for coloreds, so him and his father's been like that. So I don't get mad. Oh, my light dropping there again. I got my other tablet on to kind of so you can see me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't really get mad at people like Phil when they follow him, because no disrespect. I mean, I like Phil, and I can pick on Phil forever because I got friends like Phil, and I blow them out of the water with their Fox News every day. And they never
Do you know what a WC is?
Let him talk.
Will you let him talk, Phil? Please let him finish.
And, so it's just, I don't know. It's just the way society has changed. Like when we all were younger, you remember how our parents dealt with all of us. Now, the kids today, not to change the subject, but the kids today get put in a corner.
Yeah.
And then when they never got put hands on them, you wonder why they were shooting up churches and malls and schools.
That's a good point.
I got my ass handed to me by a retired police officer from New York constantly. And I was on the road for criminal, like straight death row, basically, the way I was acting. And without my dad doing what he did and my mom, I wouldn't be on this show. I wouldn't be sitting in this truck, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing with a correct record. I don't have any problems. I can buy more guns than Bill can. You like that one, didn't you, Bill? Got here, ain't it? know, and I do too. But so it's just I don't know. I really can't get mad at Trump because that's just the way he is. He's been raised that way. I think he needs a hug. Shit, that's what he needs. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he hasn't been late a long time. We know that.
Yeah.
Hasn't he been good for the black community?
No.
As far as reducing.
Don't ask me that shit.
Well, I'm not crazy about prison reform. I think that once you go to prison, you should stay there. But the thing is, he's working with prison reform. He's righting some wrongs that were done to people that were convicted of crimes.
Because he's trying to schmooze Kim Kardashian.
No, I don't think so.
That's the only time he's ever done.
She got his ear.
Well, I give it to Kim Kardashian that she knew how to play him to get what she wanted.
Well, in the meantime, it is what he wanted. Even when he was running in 2016, you remember what he said to the black community? I think it was in Chicago. He said, "What do you got to lose?"
And he showed us.
And now they're finding out. Yes, yes, Todd.
I'm sorry, my bad. I said we do got a lot to lose, and we've been losing.
Yep.
Everybody's been losing, not just black.
Yeah. You mean like
our reputation in the world?
Well, everybody.
Screw the world.
People, Asian people, Mexicans. Holy shit, for real? We all forgot about the Mexicans with them all getting locked up down there, down at the bottom of the border of Texas. What about all of the shit that was happening with all of the Jewish people at the synagogues when he was supposed to be all nice and whatnot?
Yeah, we're taking care of that. But the border, the cages with the kids in the cages and the people in the cages.
Don't start up.
Those
Phil.
were photographs.
Oh, don't, Phil. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
We had
Phil.
senators go in and take their own photos. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you had AOC take a photo in New Jersey outside of a parking lot to falsify that she was down there.
Who told you that?
I saw the photo. They had the stuff. They had a car in a parking lot there.
What do you mean a car in a parking lot? Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
There
Phil.
was a photo that she had staged. She was in a white outfit, white pants and top.
Yeah, she's so clever to stage this stuff.
Well, she staged it.
What was she staging? Was she staging like this was happening at the border?
Yes, and it wasn't. It was in a parking lot.
But Phil, then that's bullshit. That's utter bullshit, Phil, that you're buying and you're eating because they feed it to you.
I'll find it.
Yeah, I'll go find it.
Sure you will. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I can't believe this.
But, Phil is not alone, Alex. That's what's scary. He is a he represents a big part of the country. And that's, how we can appeal to anyone that's we're in the way that Phil thinks.
I think any time that Trump wants to find out how popular he is, all he has to do is go to a baseball game.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Put the shit out of
That was so great.
Yeah.
I love that.
And when they started chanting lock him up," I thought that was just, and supposedly if you look at the pictures, he stopped smiling. It's just kind of like a straight across here. Yeah. And Melania is like frowning. Yeah. She's like really bothered by it because this is the first time he's been anywhere that hasn't been a protected situation in which just his acolytes are let in the door. And he had to find out what people think of him.
But I think in Donald's head, they weren't even talking to him.
You think he actually shuts it out and goes, it's not me?
I think he's like, I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, what is that, Phil?
I think you're right, Alex. I think his face.
But that's not a photo of kids in cages.
She was looking horrified in front of a fence right here.
Yeah, what was that?
It was a parking lot in New Jersey.
I know, but what was the photo for, Phil?
It was to show the border.
No, it wasn't to show the border, Phil.
As a matter of fact, I'll read it. says before she hit the national stage, she was just fairly unknown House candidate from New York City. She took time away from her campaign and came down to protest the housing migrant children. She made these previously unpublished photos a year ago, but she released them as she was protesting the housing of migrant children.
But she didn't say that was down there. She was just showing like she was doing a little dramatic thing.
Right.
No, it was phony. It was a parking
Phil,
lot.
it was a dramatic.
You don't even know the pictures existed.
I've seen,
How could you defend them?
I know those pictures existed, and I know
Then
that she showed them. She showed them as almost a dramatic thing that she was doing.
No, she tried to make a drama.
Phil, you're trying to portray it as something. You're trying to portray it as something it isn't. And where'd you just get that picture from?
Something of liberty,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
who else
Phil.
is going to,
Boy, you are fucking sucker.
publish this shit?
And they don't parse they don't interpret what that picture is supposed to be.
It had her Twitter thing on it.
Phil,
look it up.
Phil,
I can barely.
wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Todd said something. Todd,
I'm sorry, I can't barely see the picture. What is it supposed to be?
It was AOC Cortez taking a picture, having a picture taken.
OAC Cortez. That's a double Cortez.
It turned out to be a parking lot.
Yeah.
And she used that picture to say she was down at the border.
No, she didn't use that picture.
Protesting.
You made that part up.
You made that part up, Phil. Go ahead, Charlie. Tell him.
She never said that was down at the border. Where did it say that? You said that.
Wait a minute.
He believes anything is fed to him.
National stage was just for. So she came down to Tornillo. What's TOR?
What is the context of the picture, Phil? And it's by the way, it's on your spurious website where they interpret what the picture is.
No, this was her. No, this wasn't her. Wait a minute.
Jesus, Phil.
My computer keeps crashing.
I wonder why.
No, I have a thing that says your computer was restarted. I think it's a.
Yeah, that's when it sees too many lies. It goes like does
downloading too much bullshit.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, Alex.
How you doing? You got fires down there?
No fires around me. No, luckily, but they're shutting off power all around us.
Yeah, locusts.
Wow.
I love your bumper sticker.
Yeah, my friend sent me that yesterday from Oregon.
Anyone else 2020? Yeah. And then of course we had the whole canard this weekend with well, let's see what happened. What is that?
I just sent you
showing the link.
Yeah.
Of PolitiFact saying this is false.
And what does it say?
False. She was standing in front of a parking
lot. Wait a minute. PolitiFact. What does it say?
No, this isn't a photo of AOC crying over a parking lot. On June 24th, U.S. Representative AOC retweeted images that an El Paso photographer took of her at a Texas town on the U.S.-Mexico border last year. And the quote is, before AOC hit the national stage and was just fairly unknown House candidate from NYC, she took time away from her campaign, came down to Tornillo to protest the tent city housing migrant children. She tweeted photographer Ivan Pierre Aguirre, who has been helping cover family separations from Texas Tribune. I made these previously unpublished photos from a year ago today. She said, I'll never forget that day. It was a moment that I saw with my own eyes that the America I love was becoming a nation that steals refugee children from their parents and cages them, she said, retweeting images of her standing in front of a chain link fence with a pained look on her face.
And that was on the Mexican border, right?
Right.
She said it was in the Mexican border.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Critics pounced, posting to social media that the congressperson was crying over nothing more than a parking lot. Among the stories echoing that sentiment were two shared on Facebook. One was from RT, the Russian government-backed news organization, and another was from a conservative news outlet, PJ Media, which ran a story with the headline, AOC weeps over an empty parking lot. Both Facebook posts were flagged as part of Facebook's efforts to combat false news and misinformation on its newsfeed.
Okay. Yes, Bree has his hand up.
There's more. There's more in that.
Yeah, okay, that kind of explains it. Bree has his hand up.
Yeah, I mean, I saw those photos as well. And but the thing is I would just have to say, I saw AOC grilling Mark Zuckerberg as well, and she can. If I were Mark Zuckerberg, she asked, "Can I do XYZ?" If I were Mark Zuckerberg, I would say, "Well, AOC, absolutely, you can do whatever you want."
And she does.
Yeah, and she does.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, that
was Phil.
That was Phil being Phil.
Yep.
For Phil's sake. Yeah.
I was in graduate
school. See what happens to your computer when you download that bullshit?
Yeah, it's like
no, it's been happening before I downloaded that. It's been happening.
The
for
other
a while.
bullshit then.
I don't know why I'm getting that, and I looked it up online, and it seems as though it's some sort of virus. It's pretty benign. It just shuts the computer. And
well, that's not benign.
Well, don't go to those websites. You're getting all that crap from those crappy websites you're going to.
Yeah, well, at least I'm not getting that left-wing crap.
Well, maybe you are. Getting that right-wing crap.
Yeah.
It's got viruses attached to it.
Anyway, how does everybody feel about the fact that we lost an ISIS terrorist because of that Rambo-type person, Donald Trump?
God, he did such a good job, didn't he?
He did such a good job. Yes, absolutely. He acted like he did it himself. He was describing it like it was a movie. Yeah. Turns out, by the way, that he wasn't there like Todd. I'll get to you. I see you raising your hand. Okay. It wasn't like he was. He made it seem as though he was watching it like Obama watched the killing of Osama bin Laden, but actually he was out at the time playing golf, and he went back and saw a video of it.
I thought he was watching it live.
No,
sir.
He signed off on it 3 days before it happened.
He didn't sign off on shit. They've been doing that. They've been working on that for months, and he almost fucked it up
4 years ago.
What did you say?
He's been on this mission for how many years?
Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah.
He's
been laying in bed thinking about this for years.
He almost screwed it up by getting out of Turkey.
Yeah.
And who was it that actually found him? The Kurds.
The Kurds.
But we
he
don't care
didn't
about the
do
Kurds,
fucking
Phil?
shit, Phil.
No.
He's just taking credit
he did
for
the
it.
Kurds what he was supposed to do.
Phil, shut up a second. I'm talking, okay? He didn't do anything. Now he gets pissy. Pretend like I'm talking. I don't know, pretend like I'm talking. He doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I'll give Trump credit. He gave the go ahead, and we got him, and that's awesome. But yeah, he has no class. I mean, did you expect class?
Well, supposedly in his description of what went on, he said more than is proper for him to say for the security of the country. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because he played it like he was Rambo.
And he made up all that bullshit about him by Baghdadi running, screaming, and crying that he had no idea what happened. None of that's recorded anywhere.
Yeah.
He just made it up. He pulled it out of his ass.
Yeah.
So most of his speeches are pulled out of his ass. Yeah. And you could totally tell when he went off prompter.
Oh, by the way, Todd had his hand up earlier, and I should go to Todd. Yes, yeah. Todd.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm just playing. But But yeah, you guys are all right. Having my points, y'all pretty much all of y'all made from the screaming, in the tunnel, which none of the people had any mics on them, so nobody can hear any of that. So, as everybody said, besides Phil, Trump lied. And what my main concern was that I don't know if a lot of y'all heard it, that the Russians that are friends with Trump turned around and said, this is all bullshit. Anybody catch that?
No.
Yeah. The Russians, I don't think it was Putin, but it was like the government said that, no, we don't know nothing about that. They didn't ask us to fly in our airspace. They didn't ask us nothing. Huh. Because I remember a while back, I don't know if anybody y'all caught it, but isn't this the second time we killed this motherfucker?
That's the sixth time.
So you'll believe the Russians now, huh?
Say again?
You'll believe the Russians now, but, when they say it's bullshit, but when they said that they didn't interfere with our elections, that you didn't believe.
Well, let me tell you something, Phil, okay? I'm a truck driver, yes, and I drive around the United States with a lot of Russians, a lot of Muslims, a lot of everything. I trust them motherfuckers, okay? Now, as far as the government, I don't really trust ours or theirs. Because, everything's a little squeaky. If you really think about it, squeaky. Now, I'd rather trust somebody that's looking me face to face and being honest with me than your buddy Trump that's telling lies 24/7, bro. Come on, man.
You just believe in the propaganda.
That was true. One word that he didn't lie.
So let me ask you something. Adam Schiff and Nadler said that they had proof that Trump was colluding with the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that one? Now, they haven't come out with any proof. Now, I'd like to see them get prosecuted for the false statements and the lies that the Democrats are doing. And you're getting fed that's more information by those people and then repeating it, regurgitating it like it's truth.
So just because they don't have enough evidence to prosecute doesn't mean there was no collusion.
Thank you. And they do get more.
I thought due process.
And by the way, when it comes to drinking the Kool-Aid, Phil, you're not one to talk.
I thought you're innocent until proven guilty, but only if you're a Democrat.
We didn't say he was guilty. Yeah. We just say there's suspicion enough to see if there is a reason to impeach him.
You're just trying to convict him in the media.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Phil? They're taking their time at impeaching him by going through all the steps, and what you're complaining about is that we're not going fast enough.
I have no problem with the speed.
Multiple crimes. He admitted it. Of course he's fucking guilty if he gets up and says, I'm guilty. I did it. Which is what
you had a military guy today in front of that committee, a guy who has a Purple Heart, which goes a lot more than Trump.
Never Trumpers can have a Purple Heart.
No, a never Trumper is a term that Trump made up, and now you're spitting out the Kool-Aid, Phil.
You just don't like hearing the truth.
No,
you can't handle.
He's not a never Trumper. He is a military guy with a vaulted military history who said he heard the call and was in on the call, and that in fact that transcript that the White House passed out. Wait a minute, let me finish, Phil. That transcript that the White House passed out wasn't complete. It wasn't everything that went on, and he told this committee some of the things that went on that weren't in that transcript.
Did you hear exactly what he said? His quote was that he was afraid that the conversation was going to make it difficult for the progress that he and his group were making with Ukraine. He had no beef with anything. He was just worried about his issues and what he was working on with Ukraine, and didn't want to make his
Phil,
thing more difficult.
You're just simply spitting out. You're not spitting out your own thoughts. You're spitting out the Republican talking points, and that's what they were today.
What, your talking points? You made them up. They're unique to you.
Believe me, I don't even watch the fucking news, Phil. I don't watch the news except for the 6:30 news, so I get it.
That's obvious because you don't know what you're talking about. If maybe if you did watch the news, you would and you watch the real news, you'd know what you were talking about.
Fox News, yeah.
Yeah, Fox News.
Yeah, they're not biased.
Listen, Fox News isn't that much
about reality than people that don't watch news at all.
In all deference to Fox News, they aren't as into Trump as they once were. Okay,
exactly.
They're even starting to defect.
For that?
What? What'd you say, Jeff?
Shepard Smith.
They didn't
quit.
He quit.
He did not quit. He was forced out. Don't you remember the one of Trump's Clooney's went over there and talked to Roger Ailes? Not Roger Ailes.
Roger Ailes is
Murdoch.
I don't think Murdoch even likes Trump.
Oh, he does.
No, not really. I mean, Murdoch's agenda doesn't include somebody like Donald Trump.
Hours after Trump's crony went over there, Shepard was fired.
His kids, Murdoch's kids, are running Fox, and they don't like Trump. They didn't like Roger Ailes, and they, pretty much changed what you hear today on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
What is that exactly? Yes.
I saw the trailer for Bombshell. I couldn't tell. I thought it was real. I mean, the actors they got to portray the anchors look just like them, and they act just like them, and it's a little confusing.
Well, I haven't seen the movie yet. Yeah.
Oh, I saw the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer.
Did you see the trailer for No Safe Spaces? Bree? No. It's Adam Carolla and Prager, Dennis Prager. Just came out on the 25th.
Things that you guys would see there. But I see a lot of things that you would not see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called No Safe Spaces. Let's see if I can get it to you.
Why should we watch that piece of shit? Why do I want to watch Adam Carolla?
It talks about the kind of things that the left is doing to the right and trying to inhibit.
Adam Carolla is involved in something like that?
Yeah, Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager.
Oh my God.
Dennis Prager, somebody I can really believe in.
I'll send it to you.
You live with Dennis Prager down in the Southland, don't you, Mike?
I don't think he's on the air anymore.
He has YouTube's channels, I think.
Yeah, so does everybody. Yeah, that's a sign that you're a failure, and I admit it.
No. But you're right. They do all have podcasts. But I like the podcasts that say just like different radio things like that.
I don't.
I know. Yeah, for us, we do. Yeah.
I mean, it is just there's just so many podcasts out there now, and nobody's making money, and nobody's making a living, and there's no broadcasting left. It's terrible.
Broadcasting's going away.
It's pretty well disappeared. I'm surprised.
But I like listening to the old radio shows. I'll just listen to it.
Yeah.
If I can, like old news clips.
It's nice that you're working though, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, half of what I do is for Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot of science that goes into, not just the content, but like the shape of the video and how, what the dimensions are and what colors and, what appeals to people who take in that stuff. It's fascinating.
Hey, look, Bree's cleaning his windows. What are you doing, Bree?
Oh, I'm cleaning my whiteboard. It's impossible. The last person who had it just treated it very poorly.
Don't you hate when people use permanent markers on the whiteboard instead of the erasable ones?
Yeah, that wasn't this. What she did was she put a lot of like taped items. She would tape things so the tape
residue
would stick there. Yeah. You know?
Goof off.
I was never part of the whiteboard culture. You know.
Yeah, I have to have it because I got to explain things to people, and it really helps when I have the board right here.
Yep. Let's see. I have a couple items here. Guess what? Los Angeles rejected a sexual battery case against Kevin Spacey. So here's another case.
Completely the second one?
This is the second one that has been dropped. Only this one is because the accuser has died. And I guess the number one suspect is Kevin Spacey, I would imagine, you know.
Do you think he'll ever work again, Alex?
No.
Oh, this is a guy that got convicted in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Louis C.K. is working.
Is he where?
McDonald's.
Yeah. No, he's doing clubs.
Oh, he's in clubs.
He's in clubs, but
he's not doing the big venues at the
yeah,
moment.
he's not doing the big venues, and he had so much going for him at that point that his whole life has been upended by what I consider to be a minor story. You know,
I never understood that, Alex. What did they said? What was it? Those two ladies who said that he jerked off in front of them?
No, he didn't even jerk off.
He didn't even jerk off.
He showed him his penis after first asking him if they minded if he showed him his penis. Nobody said no. So he pulled his penis out, and now the Me Too movement pilloried him.
Well, because they think that he was a man of control, and he was their superior.
Yeah, they had no ability to say no. Well, you had the ability to walk out of the room.
Yeah, I mean,
or to say,
you asked them, they said yes. They didn't say no.
Once a very major broadcast executive came on to Lori Thompson, my newswoman in San Francisco. Boy, it's a squeaky noise. Came on to Lori Thompson at a shooting of HBO's One Night Stand that I was doing. He trapped her in a dressing room and came on to her, and he closed the door behind him, and then he lunged towards her, and she lunged the other way and said, "This is perfectly unacceptable," opened the door and walked out. Now, why didn't any of these ladies, when he pulled out his penis, say, "This is perfectly unacceptable," and walk out?
Yeah, I mean, he did ask.
Plus what? He gets given a bad time because he was a gentleman and asked? In all these renditions of guys who have been inappropriate with women, I never heard of one of them who asked permission first.
Right.
I think he got a bum deal, and I have to say that because I also happen to like Louis C.K.
Well, and he and Al Franken, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, Franken feels bad that he didn't stick around now.
Does he?
Yeah. He said, I should have fought it. And if he had fought it, I think he probably would have come out okay,
Yeah.
So, what the hell, It's just...
you got Todd with a hand up.
Yes, Todd.
Oh, you can say it? Okay, cool. No, but yeah, well, Al Franken, he's thinking about trying to do it again, right?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I heard. And he got a podcast I listen to from time to time, but it's like, just like I listen to the replay of it, and he definitely should have fought that. He his own people put him under the bus, and that was wrong.
Yep. Yeah,
that was real wrong.
Well,
and the junk with what you were saying earlier, I mean, with the comedian Louis C.K., I mean, that all happened in his apartment. his hotel room or something like that.
Yeah,
a hotel room. So all they had to do was walk out the fucking hotel room, and ain't none of them, Phil, grabbed him by the pussy.
Yeah, and they never said they felt trapped.
Exactly.
They were waiting for the room service. Nobody wanted to miss the pizzas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did wait for their food. Okay, we can leave now.
God almighty, Phil.
Let's
I
give him
swear,
a tip.
Phil.
The guy with his dick out. What?
Why are you like that, Phil? I just want to know.
Yeah.
I
mean, are you blind? Are you deaf? I mean,
I cannot see.
Are you slow?
Yeah,
I thought you had daughters.
I mean, I like you a lot, Phil. You're a cool dude. You helped me out getting on here and everything like that. But
you
I
don't
warned you I was
understand.
going to fuck with you.
The Democrats have no sense of humor. None whatsoever. It's such a stupid topic. It's such a stupid thing. If you can't have a little bit of humor around it, because I don't treat it seriously, because you guys are hysterical.
I know what it is.
You're all fucked up, and so I make a joke out of it because I think it is a joke.
I got it, Phil. I know what it is. See, we're both deep sea divers, and you didn't get enough oxygen coming back up.
It's the
Too
I'm
much
a
helium.
Phil. I told you. Come on.
Sure.
See, remember, that's the humor. That's the humor.
Keep your pants on.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You see that tank? I got a tank there with enriched air, more oxygen. See it?
I can't see anything. All I'm looking at is legs and whatever the hell you have up. I don't
Time
see
to
it.
open that shit up.
Yeah.
Well,
That's how I test my regulator.
Yeah, you might want to check it. I think it's bad, sir.
CPAP machine.
by the way, we lost a how can I call him? A real character in show business. Robert Evans is dead.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
89.
I don't know if you ever saw the film The Kid Stays in the Picture, which is his autobiography. But he was a real character.
Was he crazy, Alex? I'm reading a book, and he's in it a little bit. Easy Rider, Raging Bulls.
I don't know if he was crazy. I don't know if you call that crazy. You know, he was an eccentric. You know.
Yeah.
And he was involved in some pretty interesting movies. You know, he brought The Godfather to Paramount, and he brought Chinatown to Paramount. So,
Yeah.
you know, these were films that, you know, he was, especially Chinatown, he had a major credit on it, you know. So, it's, you know, it was sorry to see him go. Good producer. Good
That's
director.
when movies were movies. Chinatown, great movie.
Movies are still
baby.
movies. It's just they're on Netflix now.
Yeah. I can't wait.
You know, I mean, you got Scorsese doing his movie on Netflix this weekend.
I'm waiting to see that. I hope it's good. I hope they're not pumping this up as a fake.
I think it probably sucks.
That's what I was
Jeff's
going
got his hand up.
And I have to say, probably is not as good as a Marvel movie. Who's got his hand up?
Jeff had his hand up.
Jeff? Okay, Jeff. Yes, Jeff.
So how old was he that he died?
I think he was 89.
Yeah. I think so.
You know, he was old enough. You know, he had his run, and you know, he was good at what he did. You know, so you can't blame him. They discovered him in a swimming pool.
In a swimming
in
pool?
L.A. Yeah, he was just such a good-looking guy that I can't remember what female movie star, took him. I think it was to a studio, one of the studios, maybe 20th, and they gave him a contract just on his looks.
On his looks, they didn't even care if he can even read.
Right.
Just
He was.
sign
I
him
think
up.
he was in The Sun
shit.
Also Rises with Ava Gardner as the bullfighter. Yeah, yeah. So he made he made a few movies, and then he went into producing, and he became a real. I think he became the head of Paramount at one time.
Yeah, he did. In the book I'm reading, they said he was fighting with Coppola, and he's writing over casting of The Godfather. Alex, they were going back and forth.
Well, there
At least
was-
this is what
There
the
was a
author
lot of
says.
arguing about that. You know.
Like they didn't want Pacino.
But also,
They did
Robert
not
Evans
Pacino.
made that film happen.
Yeah, but they didn't
gets
want
credit
they didn't
as
want
shown.
they didn't want Pacino because he wasn't a big star. But then when they got Brando, They figured we have a marquee name now, you know.
Yep.
And they said, "Go ahead, have your way with Pacino."
And they didn't, according to the book, they didn't want Brando at all. The head of Paramount, the guy who owned the company, until they showed him a daily of him getting into character.
Yeah, and I think also because Brando was not reliable.
Alex, was he that crazy? They said he would just go over, like, just show up late, go over budget, like he would never do anything.
Well, to begin with, you know, he
had his own island.
He read all his lines off of cue cards.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, holy shit.
No, he read his lines off of cue cards, but that's why he was always kind of looking up and looking down, because that's where they kept the cue cards.
Didn't his son have some issues? Somebody get killed? It was Christopher.
I think he killed the daughter's husband.
He killed his own daughter, his own sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that when Brando bought the island and had him on that island to?
I can't remember
if
I think he bought it before that. And I think, did the murder take place in the island? No, the murder took place in Hollywood, and she was the daughter of that Tahitian actress who was in Mutiny on the Bounty with him.
Wow.
And they had a daughter together, and then he had a son by somebody else. I mean, he had so many kids and wives and so on. And the kid killed the sister.
Wow.
You know.
Talk about sibling rivalry.
Well, it wasn't a sibling rivalry. It was something. I can't remember. Do you remember any of that, Michael? Or
was it drugs or
what it was exactly?
No.
There was a drug component to it, I believe. Yeah. So, Kevin, you're kind of quiet tonight. Any feelings about the news and what's going on?
Nah, you guys probably hit most of it already before I got on. I was pleasantly entertained about the baseball game incident.
Yes.
Was that the Trump incident, or is there something?
Yeah, the one where he sold out that whole stadium and had all his friends there, and they all told him to fuck off.
Oh, that was sold out. That's right.
You know how he has all those people always waiting outside his venues and
that's rude.
Waiting to get in and selling all those tickets.
That was a sound effect put in by Fox.
Yeah. No, the thing is that I think this is the last time you're going to see Trump appear anywhere that he doesn't have control over.
Exactly.
Smart.
You know.
Exactly.
Because he finds out exactly how people feel about him, and he doesn't like that.
I mean, I missed it because on Sunday when I saw him, gloating about how he killed Osama Bodadi or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
When I saw him gloating about that, I said, "This is enough," and I just shut it off. And I missed the whole baseball thing the next day.
Yeah.
And when I talked to my friend last night, I went, "Oh my God, I missed it!" So I went onto YouTube and I caught it, and it was great.
Is there a
I
game?
watched it about
Is the
4 or 5
series
times.
over?
No,
Kevin.
No, Game 6 is tonight.
Oh, who won that?
It's evened up. They're going to Game 7.
It says it's final is 7 Nationals, 2 Astros.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
came back
3-3 going to Game 7.
3-3, so it's going to go to Game 7.
all or nothing.
The visitors have won every game.
Now, you're a big baseball guy, Charlie. Does anybody give a shit about this series? Because it's getting low ratings.
It's getting very low ratings because it's not New York or Chicago or L.A. in it. You know?
Yeah.
I think everybody's tired of the Astros.
And it's the first time the Nationals have been in the series, right?
No, it's
they won the
first time for the
or something.
Nationals.
Washington was in it once before, but not as the Nationals. Am I right about that?
Yeah, this is actually the Expo. So this is really the Expo.
Yeah, the Nationals the first time, but Astros have been in it several times.
The Astros have been in it several times. Yeah.
So is anyone interested in the announcement from HBO today about their new HBO Max?
They got another one?
Well, we know
which is
about
the highest price streaming service right now. It's higher than Netflix at $14.99.
What do you get?
But it's basically all of Warner Brothers. You know, Friends, Big Bang Theory, West Wing, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, South Park.
And if you already have HBO, I think you will get HBO Max for free.
Yeah, there's
you'll just simply be able to upgrade to it.
You get the library of Sesame Street, BBC shows like Doctor Who. The Office.
Yeah,
So you get all the regular.
well, it's because
I- 2
Disney
weeks
bought
ago-
up. It's because Disney bought up all these companies. It's like Marvel, It's and then of course Disney Plus, which I decided to subscribe to. Although it turns out now because I have FiOS, I will get a year free of it.
Oh, not you. I got you the extra
Has the
that
new
too.
Star Wars series, and it's
Yeah, I wanna see that.
it's
And
dealing with
enjoy.
all this different stuff. The Warner's thing, the HBO Max, will be supposedly, if you already have HBO, like on cable or whatever, you'll get it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And starting in May.
Yeah. What is?
But Apple TV starts next week. Disney Plus starts in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks is fall.
These guys are all going to be nickeling and diming you to death. Eventually, it's going to be the same price of
Well, Apple TV starts Friday.
Yeah.
And Apple TV will be free for a month, so you can binge watch all their shows, and they look to be pretty good, actually.
It's interesting.
I'll watch Jennifer Aniston in anything. Jesus.
So what will this do to Netflix?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is Netflix going to get bought, you think, by one of them? I don't know.
No, I don't think. Netflix is a juggernaut in and of itself. Oh, look, we're looking at Malaysia, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at Kuala Lumpur. Downtown Kuala Lumpur.
Is that near New Jersey?
Yeah, it looks like New Jersey from here, except I think the mountains in the background look a little more foreboding.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'm going to try the Disney thing. If I get the Disney thing for free, I'll keep it up. Plus, if you buy the Disney thing, let's say you get the Disney thing, you can throw 3 other people onto your subscription.
I got the $45 Hulu thing, and so far I'm very happy with it. I got rid of Sling, which seemed to be falling apart and losing channels left and right.
Really?
And the Hulu thing is much better. I'm getting a lot more stuff now. Granted, it's $20 more a month than Sling, but it's,
you get local channels too, right?
Yes, yeah, I get. I'm getting national news channels. I don't think I'm getting local. There's something else on the Roku that you can get the local news channels. When I want to watch those, you get some programming of local stuff, but not all of. It's not all day.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other services that do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, like what?
Okay, YouTube TV.
YouTube has one that does the same thing.
I heard YouTube TV was very good. Some economist guy, Horowitz or one of those guys, was saying that YouTube TV was the best for the money.
Yeah. So who knows? But I mean, it will. They will be nickel and diming you to death pretty soon. And they're all going to be fighting for the same space. So they're all going to be giving you the cheapest price they possibly can. And even though HBO is expensive, it's no more than getting HBO with your cable system. So
Yeah, HBO with the Hulu is $15 a month, I think.
Yeah.
With the Hulu?
No, not with the Hulu.
You have the Hulu
I
and
see.
then you subscribe.
Same thing with the
Phil,
YouTube TV.
That. Okay, that's a different thing altogether. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's our theme playing. Boy,
that went fast.
Been a nice night tonight. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Kevin for being here, and Jeff for being here, and Todd for being here, and Charlie for being here, and then Michael Klein, and Tony Magno, and Bree from Malaysia, and Phil from Hunger. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you get to experience a true asshole once in a while.
Yeah.
And
Up until now, it's just been me, an
you'll do
amateur
good.
asshole. So everybody, I think
I learned from you.
everybody should give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give you a big wave goodbye too. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. That's our group for tonight. And that's the way that's the way we roll, folks. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I gotta do something with my Skype here. Hold on a second. Where is that? Son of a bitch! I can't find my oh well, what the hell? I'll just oh, there we go. Okay, I forget how to do things. I'm just starting to fall apart, folks. Anyway, stay tuned for Jack Bishop. He's next with The Intersection. Tomorrow night at 8:30, it's the Franchise MC with the sports show, The Arena. And then at 9:30, well, we'll probably have a rerun of The Exchange here because there's a fire out where Damien is. We'll see you again tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, you know what to do. Tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.